I was here before 787. So I remember Arbor Hill and the feeling that people in the community had about where they lived. Arbor Hill is sort of different than the South End because Arbor Hill always enjoyed a pretty diverse black population. There were the upper middle class people lived there, the middle class people lived there, and poor people lived there. So they moved from South End to Arbor Hill. That was a step up. And the feeling was that it was their community. They felt a little freer. I think when you close it off, people feel differently about their community and about themselves. So I've always maintained that, putting 787 where they put it, unfortunately, I mean, we're talking also about redlining, but putting 787 where it is did damage to Arbor Hill and the South End as well, because it didn't, affect the environment. It did affect the way people saw themselves as being a part of the community. I now watch what happens in the South End, for instance, at Lincoln Park. There is some sense that, if you need to get outdoors, you can just walk across the street. I go there every holiday because people from the community go there, their families go there, they have cookouts, they play games, they enjoy the outdoors. And I just think it's great. That's why I go there every year. There are people who go down by the river, but there are people who are able to drive there, and there's not as many people. You don't get a sense of community there. So it's very, very different.
So my anecdote about the Hudson River is really from my dad, who's still alive. He's going to be 88 in a couple of weeks. And he and my grandparents came up to Albany from Virginia. And they arrived in the early to mid 40s in Albany. My dad, as a young boy, talked about how he and his buddies would always run down to the river from North Pearl Street. They would fish, and that they had boats on the shore that they would climb into and actually row across, or if they didn't have a little boat, they would actually jump into the Hudson River and swim back and forth to the Rensselaer side, play with the kids on that side, and then jump back in the boat or swim back across the river. Now, when my dad said that to my siblings and I, we were dumbfounded. We said, "You swam where?" And he says, "The Hudson River." And we were all saying, "Well, where's that?" And then he reminded us that there's a river on the other side of 787. And that river was a wonderful play area that he enjoyed growing up, and from fishing to swimming and just horseplaying. So it's a small anecdote, but it's something that really impressed upon me of how removed we are, or I have been, from the Hudson River as being someone that was born and raised in Albany. Really have not noticed, have not appreciated to any real depth. It just seemed to be an abstract idea that there happens to be a river that runs by Albany.